It is the RIOT. You know, I was fine when we started.
Yeah.
But I am sleepy now.
Oh, now you're even. Well, yeah, as the morning's gone on and now it's podcast time. Obi's so tired.
Man, what on this earth? I mean, like I did.
You had coffee, right?
Yeah. And I've done okay through, most of the show. But it was about 2.5 hours in. All of a sudden it was like, dude.
Just downhill.
I'm just getting tired here.
Oh, well, it is Cyber Monday if you're listening to this. So just to let you know for the podcast, check out shop.radiou.com. You can get free shipping on Radio U merchandise today. So if you've never checked out Radio U, you're just normally maybe a RIOT podcast listener. Spend some time at RadioU.com today.
All right, there's that. Also, tomorrow, Giving Tuesday happens. The RIOT happens because Radio U exists. And so this podcast is directly funded by donations from people who listen to Radio U and podcast listeners like yourself. So Giving Tuesday is a worldwide day of giving back. The idea being that you take time to give to the nonprofits in your community. And of course, it's not that we necessarily want to hog all your money, but Radio U is a nonprofit and we could use your help to continue doing what we do.
And then on Wednesday, you're like, that's it. I'm not spending any more money.
And I think you're right. I think that is it.
That's the official day.
Yeah. So here's what I got for you. In the podcast today, we talk a lot about Black Friday.
We do.
And the shopping that happens. We talk about Elon Musk and James Bond, the most hated song in the UK, and then some of your own
Christmas
text
song.
responses. Yeah, that's right. Christmas. Breathing problems and flight diversions, Google Stadia, cops and pigs, Christmas movies. Disappointments.
The levels of Christmas movies.
And the show wraps up with a very special guest. Kind of.
Kind of, sort of.
I mean, they're not on the show, but they're definitely a part of the show.
So don't forget to check out shop.radiou.com today and enjoy the podcast.
All right, everybody.
Have a good Monday.
Bye.
The RIOT. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. Radio U.
So, Nikki, talk to me about what you bought on your Black Friday.
Over the weekend?
Yeah, because, I mean, we were in here early Friday morning, so we didn't go out to the early sales.
No,
but
and I didn't
there was an afternoon.
I didn't do much. I finally bought John Wick 3. Thank you, everybody. Yay! Da, 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 da. Isn't that exciting?
Nothing says Happy Thanksgiving like wholesale slaughter.
Well, I think so.
Of turkeys.
I haven't watched it yet, but
Okay.
I did buy it.
Now, did you buy a digital copy? Or
Yeah, just a digital copy.
Yeah, okay.
And outside of that, I think I bought like maybe 2 presents for people and
Okay.
a TV for someone else, and that was
For
it.
someone else?
Well, they were just using my membership. So I was, the middle person with
That's
that.
fair.
And that was about it. So I didn't buy much for Black Friday.
I did my Blu-ray shopping. That happened. And I also got some headphones for my...
Oh, you found headphones.
Gotta have them.
Yeah.
I that was the conclusion I finally came to at the end of the day. It was like, look, you have to buy some headphones.
His gym headphones
They're on
broke.
sale. Like, they're not going to magically get better.
They're not going to be free.
They're done. And yeah, exactly. No one's giving them away. You're just going to need to buy some and just be thankful that they're on sale.
You didn't wake up and the elves had fixed your old headphones and they worked
didn't do that.
like a miracle?
I didn't. It was not the Christmas miracle I was looking for.
Which one did you go with?
I got some Power Beats 3. Which, depending on who you talk to, I've made the best choice.
Or the worst
the worst choice.
No one in between?
No. And you know what? I just went ahead and bought the AppleCare for him.
Just in case.
Well, it was a long process of trying to figure out, like, do I want to go with the quote-unquote true wireless? Are you okay with the little rope behind your neck? And you know what? I've had a rope for the last 2 years. Rope me again.
You were fine with it?
I actually don't care. So my big concern was every headphone I looked at, there was the true wireless, like the little buds. They all started with a review saying, yes, it fell out of my ear a couple times. And I'm like, all right.
Eventually, then your ears form to it. You get used to it.
Man, guys, everything else about my body's not right.
You can't have this.
I don't want to spend, $150 on something that's just falling out.
Well, no,
at least with the Beats, they've got a hook and a rope.
No, it's
that sounds good.
Kind of like with the AirPod Pro. The problem people are having with it is it's like what do they call it? ear fatigue. Like your ear just gets tired of having these things around it or in it because they're in so tight. And you just have to find the right pair that works for you.
Well, these Beats need to be comfortable-ish for 30 to 60 minutes, 5 to 6 days a week.
Of some workout time.
Well, because, it's not like I'm not planning on using these. And I know for a lot of people, I put my AirPods in, they never come out. I'm not doing that with these. These are just for the gym. That's all they're for.
Well, good luck to you. You're going to love them. And if not, you're just stuck with them. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. And with that AppleCare warranty, I just got into a 2-year relationship.
Whether you like it or not, you're in.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So in the middle of all of this, over the weekend, Elon Musk tweeted about the Cybertruck. Now, that's not news.
That's not new news.
That's not.
Still there.
The tweet that he had that caught my attention is that he said the Cybertruck design was influenced by the old James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me.
Was it?
Just to be clear, that's probably my favorite James Bond movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Do you agree with this statement?
What about it?
Do you feel like it maybe...
Oh, I could totally see it.
You can see it?
Absolutely. I don't think I would have drawn that conclusion on my own necessarily, but after he said it, I was like, oh, yeah.
Then you can see it.
Oh, yeah. And that led me down this rabbit hole reading an article that I kind of remember this, but I had forgotten. Elon Musk bought the original car featured in that 1977 James Bond movie for about $1 million.
So he bought that one, and that's the one that the Cybertruck kind of...
Yes.
Lends itself from?
Yeah, he said when he was a kid and he saw that, he was so amazed by it. And, as an adult, he bought it. But what's crazy is the people that he bought it from. This is the part I didn't know, because I vaguely remember hearing that he had bought this car. There was a couple that did a, what do they call them? The auction, what's the
storage unit things?
Storage unit things, yeah.
Storage Wars.
Storage Wars,
yeah,
that's it.
Sort of thing.
Okay, there's a couple that they bought a storage unit, sight unseen, for $100.
Wow.
Inside it was this Lotus.
Yeah, that's what gives people hope for other people who do that.
They sold the Lotus that they paid $100 for I believe it was $997,000.
Wow.
Shut up.
All right. You never know what you'll find.
You never know. And in the middle of all of that, there was a trailer for the new James Bond movie over the weekend.
So is the full trailer out or... So
yes,
the teaser's out.
It's a teaser.
The trailers thing, I think, is out on Wednesday.
No, see, what I think what you saw was teasing.
Last week?
Yes. I think that's an old one that was saying it was out Wednesday. And then what I saw was a full 60 seconds, which is how long a teaser usually is.
I saw that it was just trending, and it wasn't trending last week when it came out.
It was trending. I saw it trending over the weekend.
Maybe.
Let me see. We
don't have to look too much into it. You gotta know.
I'm looking. You are right.
Yeah.
There's a full trailer
that comes Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. You are correct. So it was what I saw. We both are right.
Yeah.
Your 15-second trailer was a teaser for a trailer. I saw a teaser, which was 60 seconds.
Then on Wednesday will come the trailer that everything's been teasing up to.
Good Lord.
Hey, it's marketing. It's just how they have to do it.
Yeah, well,
let's drive him crazy before it even comes out.
Nothing could live up to that kind of hype, right?
For a teaser hype?
A teaser for the trailer for the movie.
Which is out on Wednesday.
Oh, my gosh. The trailer.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on Radio U.
The most annoying Christmas song. The most annoying.
It's not. It just depends on your opinion on it.
Well, that's true. And in fairness, Nikki, this poll was conducted in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Can you trust the British when it comes to Christmas?
I bet you can.
I don't know. I feel like maybe we came over here for a reason. You're like, you know what? Your Christmas sucks.
And it's a long list.
We're going to found America. And you know what? You can take Boxing Day and shove it. We're going to have a Black Friday.
We're going to have our own bad songs.
Forget about it already. But they say the most annoying song, And no, I want to say hi to Jared. He said it has to be Christmas shoes.
I don't feel like I've heard that or about that in a long time.
I agree. I feel like it's been a while. No, the British have voted, and they say that All I Want for Christmas Is You from Mariah Carey
is the worst?
Is the most annoying Christmas song.
I think that's because it's used everywhere. You go Christmas shopping, you hear it. You go to a restaurant during Christmas, you hear it.
Yep. That is the problem with it. It is the most
overexposed.
Absolutely. It's the number one selling ringtone of all time.
That I find fascinating.
Think about that for a minute. That's a little weird.
I haven't bought a ringtone in a while, but I guess it's there. Yeah, you just make your own if you need one.
But it was the number one selling ringtone of all time, and I believe it is one of the top selling singles of all time.
Well, everybody hates what's number one.
Well, it's just overexposure.
Yeah, you just don't want to hear it anymore.
You just don't. And, the backlash is inevitable. Anything that's popular is going to be hated. On the other side of it, I will tell you that I had a Christmas mix that I had put together with a lot of different Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I leaned heavily on the RadioU Christmas playlist, but I was in mixed company.
Sure.
And so I did allow the Mariah Carey song in that mix. And when I heard it at the party, I was like,
poor choice.
It was just one of those moments where I was like, oh my gosh.
You realize you made a mistake.
And then I saw this. I was like, it's not just me. There are a lot of people that are getting a little...
Sure.
Maybe just a little tired of it.
Well, if you're like, the one song, you're sick of it, then you and everyone else in the UK are sick as well.
Yeah, that's the part that bothers me is like, man, I don't want to be like the British.
So now you want to like it, or you feel like you should?
Now I'm going to have to go out and become a Mariah Carey fan.
You got to buy the ringtone.
I got to get the ringtone. I got to get the album, and I definitely got to buy.
Maybe you should have the ringtone like in an ironic way. That would be great. And then every time it actually rings, you can explain to people why you have it.
Oh, do you guys like my ironic ringtone?
I don't have it like for real. It's an ironic ringtone.
Well, she just released like the 50th anniversary of her Christmas album or whatever. Justin says the most annoying Christmas song is I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, period.
Okay, Justin.
Okay. You know what?
I don't hear that often when I go to the store.
You know what? Let's open it up. Let's go ahead. You tell us what you think the most annoying.
I don't want to hear it because then you're just getting people's hurt feelings about things.
Oh, is that what you think?
They just don't like the song.
I want to hear it.
You do? How many songs can we hate?
Oh, Nikki, we haven't even begun to realize our potential.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess then let's hear all the other ones. I'm sure there's a list.
I'm looking forward to hearing all of the ugliness.
Yes, I would like, please text it all out, okay?
Yeah.
And include your name. We want to give credit where that hate credit is due.
So text us 877-2-RADIO-U.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So we were asking about what was the Christmas songs that you hated. And you know what? I got to say, a lot of people showing a lot of
restraint.
Yeah, I expected we get 100 text messages and we only got like 6. So that's pretty good. That means a lot of people are like, man, I don't have time to be hating on Christmas today.
Hey, it's December, all right? We're not supposed to hate anymore. You're supposed to accept it and make your way through January.
So we heard from Justin earlier. He says, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. No good. Val says, that song, All I Want for Christmas is My Two Front Teeth. Yeah, I heard that while shopping this weekend and thought, why would anyone want to
put that in the list?
Tim says, for me, the most annoying Christmas music is anything from Ariana Grande. Okay. All right.
He had some passion behind that text message. He hates it. He said anything by her.
Bruce says Last Christmas by Wham. Yeah, okay. Can I just have a secret confession here? Hawk Nelson did their own kind of cover on Last Christmas. And
I think that's the only one I know.
I should hate it. I should hate it. And I secretly really like it. It's so I hate myself for loving it.
I know you're just asking people to text the songs they hate, but it's okay to throw one that you like in every so often.
Peter is on board the Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas thing. Rosanna says, hands down, Santa Baby is the worst.
All right.
And here's what I love about Janet. Janet's a true Riot listener. Okay, she's in the club because when we ask for Christmas songs she hated, she gives us like 14.
She's got them all.
Christmas songs where I'm changing the station / ending the stream. Mary, did you know? Christmas shoes. His favorite Christmas story, or whatever it's called. Happy Christmas, war is over. And baby, it's cold outside. And I hated that before it was trendy to hate it.
You got everything there. Nathan just texted, said, table this discussion for a few days before Christmas and we'll let the hate flow through us.
That's actually
you should
not
ask it again.
That's
later.
A good point, because right now you are all riding the man, Christmas lights are up and I'm going to go spend a bunch of money.
That goes away as we get closer to Christmas and the stress starts inching in.
Boy, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
And you've heard the song like 50 billion times. Then you're tired of it.
Okay. You know what? That's fair, guys. Good point, Nathan.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki may have a point. And
what's that point?
I just need to know if there are any lawyers in the audience. 877-2 Radio U. I think you're probably too smart to be here.
My bet is you're probably listening to a podcast. Maybe you're a podcast listener later.
NPR, something like that. Something smarter than this.
Maybe you accidentally flipped over to us and you just haven't left out of laziness. But we do have an honest question.
Mm-hmm. So I build an Amazon wish list. I have family in Oregon and whatever. And so, you know the deal. It's like
you make a Christmas list.
You make a Christmas list. You try to put stuff on there that's just kind of cheap and fun and whatever. And so I did. And I also did that setting where I wouldn't be able to see if someone buys something off my list.
Yeah.
So I went to add one more thing to it and stopped by my wish list. And I can tell you right now, I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
Do you want to say what it is?
Wah, wah.
Oh, surprise ruined. Or are you excited that someone got it for you?
Well, there is one thing in particular I'm very excited about. There was a book on there I really wanted. Nerd alert. And
someone got it for you?
Yeah, I will very much look forward to sitting by the fire and reading that book.
If it was a setting and you chose to have Amazon not tell you, then I was telling Obi, well, that feels like a lawsuit, doesn't it? Your Christmas has been ruined?
But it's been made.
And you can't even enjoy any future Christmases or think about gifts anytime soon.
Well, I lost my ability to work.
And then that means you lost your ability to trust any human being.
Right.
Or Amazon.
Or anything electronic. And so now I have to sit alone with nothing.
You can't work.
And nowhere. So, I can't work. I can't interact with friends and family. So it's not just a matter of lost wages, but it's also loss of
emotions,
quality of life and different things like that.
So that to me feels like a potential lawsuit.
I agree with you.
If it's worth it.
I think it's about doing the lawsuit in such a way that we make it worth it.
So is there any lawyers who feel like they want to take on that case?
The case.
Without paying, accepting payment?
Take the case. Well, you get paid a percentage of the settlement.
Well, eventually.
But unfortunately, your settlement part will have to be smaller than normal.
But because you're so passionate and you agree with what's happened to Obi,
you feel
you don't
so
want
bad.
Payment.
You know what? Pro bono.
Yeah, you feel like that's all that is.
I feel like justice must be served.
Yeah.
It's cases like this that made me want to be a lawyer.
You changed your whole career. This has happened to you.
This is why I studied the law.
You want someone who will just fight for you.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. Come on.
So I don't know if
I need you to fight for me.
I don't know if that really counts or if any lawyer will be interested in that. But look what happened to Obi.
Man, I'm sure. I'll tell you what. Let's clear out the phone lines real quick because they're about to blow up.
You want to go home for the day or can you keep working? Or
Nikki, I can't come back.
You can't. And this will be evidence. We're going to put this in the case because you're upset.
He got up and walked right out. 877-2 Radio U.
Oh, if not, good for you. You got your book.
We need Kevin Sturgis on this. He needs to open some doors for us, Nikki. That's what he needs to do.
No.
And point. He needs to open some doors and point.
No.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, have you found anything Cyber Monday worthy?
No, not yet. I just started looking at some of the emails.
Yeah.
I unsubscribed from as many throughout the last couple of years as possible. So I don't get as many Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff as I used to. But we're still looking.
So nothing so far?
Nothing yet.
I know that's where I'm at.
It's okay. You know what? Let's not lose heart. We can find something.
If we keep digging, I'm sure we can spend some money.
We will find something that we can buy today.
Look at this. I can get you Mission Impossible Fallout in 4K for $11.99.
That's an option.
What about Star Trek, the 2009 reboot, $8.99?
I think I'm movied out. I'm not interested in anything.
Okay.
I can't even keep up with what we have streaming-wise. I can't add any more to it.
Boy, that's a whole other discussion.
So I'm kind of out on that.
Okay, what about a pressure washer?
I own one.
60...
I already have one.
Okay,
let's not give up.
All right, what about a 54 count of Rayovac high-energy alkaline batteries, 30 AA, 24 AAA?
Boy, you know you're at the bottom if you're buying batteries.
You know we all...
But unless it's a really good deal.
Okay, what about one of those mini arcade cabinets that plays Mortal Kombat?
Hey! I wanted a pinball machine.
That sounds like something you might be into.
Pinball machine feels like not right now. It's not it's everyday
later
thing that you're buying.
Okay.
Maybe when I'm closer to being older, I'll buy that.
Lego Voltron?
What's that?
Voltron, like the big robot thing, but made of Legos.
Oh, you can put it together.
Mm-hmm.
I just put together my gingerbread house for Legos, so I'm good.
What about a 2-pack of lawnmower blades?
Didn't know I would need that.
Okay. So, and here you go. Here's a shop vac cartridge filter.
Let's stop looking at your list. I don't know what's on that email.
No, it's a gathering.
It's home stuff. If you need things for like your actual home life.
All right. Well, what about this new Oral-B toothbrush?
I just bought a toothbrush, so I'm good. I should have waited.
I feel like I'm talking to Michael, our boss.
I don't want anything on your list.
When we talk to him, we're like, hey, do you guys want to go? You want to go to whatever for lunch? We ate there last night. Okay,
he does say it literally every time.
What if we go to this? I had that for lunch yesterday. All right, what about this? I ate that for breakfast today.
That was breakfast this morning.
And it's like, you know what? Never mind. We'll just eat the air.
We'll just keep looking.
And to be clear, that was not my list, Nikki. I was looking at Slick Deals.
Oh, that was what they have there?
Yeah. I mean, my list isn't that lame.
If anybody has anything they find that's good today, just send us the link.
Yeah. And get free shipping on all RadioU merch.
Well, we can send you that link if you need to.
RadioU.com/shop.
We got that one.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
You know how it is, right? When you're just like, I just can't sit in this seat for the entirety of this 25-minute flight.
The fact that this was just from Pensacola to, was it Miami?
Pensacola to Miami. What? How long could that possibly be?
It's not a long flight.
I mean, I get it. Florida's bigger than you think it is.
No, but it's not. Not like that.
So what? Maybe an hour? It's not an hour. It can't be. So we got a woman in Florida over the weekend who gets in her seat. She's been trying to get an upgrade unsuccessfully. Mm-hmm. So she gets in her seat and then begins having a breathing problem.
She told the flight attendant that she couldn't breathe. We're having issues. And because of the episode, they decided to take the plane back to Pensacola.
Good job.
But I don't know how this would get her a different seat or like what the reason is behind it. But she lied. She was not actually having an episode.
I started thinking about it.
Yeah.
Here's the only conclusion I could come to is that she was saying that because of how small her seat was, she was unable to breathe. So maybe she wanted to move up to a seat that was more spacious that would allow her to, man spread a little bit.
Or if she went back to Pensacola and then they're like, well, let's get you on the next plane and they might want to make her feel more comfortable. She'd get an upgrade or something.
Yes.
Could be playing the system.
But gosh,
the
amount of time that you have invested in just getting a better seat, like, who cares?
So she was faking the episode.
Yeah.
But then when they got there, she did fess up and said, hey, it was a lie because they call in the police department. So then she wouldn't get off the plane. She wouldn't deplane. So then everybody had to end up then getting off the plane, a full evacuation. And then when she finally was convinced to get off the plane, she was booked in what they call the Baker Act. So she was in trouble.
Okay, so help me with this. You're on that plane.
Oh, I'm mad. Yeah, because I'm mad. I'm on the plane, too.
Are you going to say something?
To her?
Yeah.
As she's off the plane or as we walk by her?
As you walk by her. Because you realize she's like the one person who's not getting off.
Under my breath or out loud or screaming at myself. I don't know. I don't like confrontation.
This is one of those moments where someone has called your bluff and part of you're just like, you know what? I'm not backing down. I've gone this far.
I'm going to stay on this plane. She admitted it, though. She admitted she had been lying. And, the plane still had to go back. And the Baker Act, which allows the authorities to detain any individual who could pose an immediate threat to themselves or other in a mental health facility for assessment. So they were using that to take her off the plane.
Man, she's going to,
So criminal charges have not been filed yet, but I'm sure there's something that will be down the road.
Yeah. I'm sure it was all worth it, though.
To get another seat.
And I'm sure the mental health facility that she is now a part of is probably a lot more comfortable than the plane.
That's when the lie goes too far. You can't back it back and you can't get not in trouble. You're in trouble.
Everybody sit down. Get back on the plane. Take back off.
Sometimes when I watch those videos, we're a part of the public freak out sort of Reddit stuff.
I love them.
And sometimes when I watch them, I think, if you only just said sorry and just stopped,
stop.
Maybe it would keep you from being in trouble, but you take it too far and you don't stop and you never apologize.
Oh, man. She's sorry now, though.
You don't ever apologize when you try to fake a breathing problem.
She may not have apologized, but I guarantee you she's sorry.
She's very sorry now.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Hopefully everybody had a good weekend.
What about you?
I did, yeah. It was a good weekend.
Good. I mean, let's get real for a minute. Over the weekend, I saw Ohio State beat Michigan.
That was a good game.
It was a good game. And, when it started, I thought, man, Michigan's kind of putting the hurt on OSU here.
I felt like that made it a bit more of a good game because if you've been watching, obviously, all the other Buckeye games, some of them had gotten a little boring. So it was good to have a game.
Might have quit on halftime on a couple of those because it was like, you know what, I'm good. But
it was a good game.
It was a good game. So congratulations, Ohio State. They go to the Big Ten Championship this Saturday. Auburn beat Bama.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
Did you see the things afterwards about the ladies who got caught trying to get through the hedges? I like that more than the game. I do. I like when things like that happen.
It's not wrong.
These couple of ladies who were trying to get onto the field, they got caught in the hedges, like the bushes and stuff.
The memes were pretty good.
It was just awesome.
There were a lot of really good memes.
It really makes a special game when that happens.
That was all I did with football over the weekend. I know there were a lot more rivalry games. I saw that Oregon beat Oregon State. They call that Civil War.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That's when Oregon State goes to Oregon every year and gets the crap kicked out of them. And then
it's a tradition. It's a holiday tradition.
It's a tradition. It's just something that you do. Can't help but feel sorry for those guys.
It's fine. It pays for things. They just go through the game. It's fine.
Just something that you do, right?
But yeah, there was a lot of good games.
Yeah, Tom from, what's the band?
Archer's Rise?
Archer's Rise. He's a big Oregon State fan. I follow him on Twitter, and it's like on Saturdays, you just want to give him a hug. Like,
aww.
Tom, listen, guy, it ain't happening.
Yeah, but he still has heart that something will. Hope.
How do you even become a Beavers fan? Like, how does that happen?
Well, if you live in the area.
That must be it. Like, somehow, I feel like it's government subsidized. Like, you get a write-off if you're willing to root for the Beavers.
You get a small check every year. You just promise to stay a fan.
Discount on tuition.
You do.
And you get an extra percentage point if you're willing to tweet about it.
It's actually a local tax in the area. You get money off of it. It's a percentage thing.
That makes a lot of sense when we lay it out like that.
Actually, it does, doesn't it? Maybe you get a free gas day or something.
It makes a lot more sense like that.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Over the weekend, thanks to Ken. And Ken, you know who you are.
Was he the one who shared?
He was. Ken signed up to be a founder for Google's Stadia. Now, that is an online video game streaming platform.
It's not buying the games, but you're able to stream whatever games from them that you want wherever you want.
Well, but it's not like Netflix, though. Mm-hmm. You pay to get in, and then you got to pay for games.
Yes, but next year they'll have the free version.
Yes.
But you still got to pay the games.
You still got to buy the games. Nikki's right. Now, if you want to pay, they've got a see, what you're saying right now and me trying to explain it tells me that their messaging has sucked. Because
whatever are you talking about?
People, like, there's so many...
They're just hoping you're so confused that you'll just sign up for whatever.
That's it. People, even when I talk to people, they're like, no, wait, it gets you a what now? A who?
Now, you can pay for what's currently going on, and that gets you in before the free one comes out.
Right. It gets a public launch next year, but they're doing their founders thing this year. It's like $120. You get a controller, a Google Chromecast, and 3 months of their premium service. Now, their premium service gets you like 4K streaming and all this kind of stuff.
And you get a buddy.
Yeah. And so,
or you can send it to someone else to try.
Ken selected me as his buddy. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ken. Which meant that over the weekend I got a chance to play Stadia, and it was great. So you get in the Founders Edition, like they're giving you, if you do the $10 a month, they're like giving you a free game every month or something. So the games that I got to try were Destiny 2 and the not original, but the Tomb Raider reboot. It's the first one of those 3 games that was just called The Tomb Raider.
But did you already have those games, or?
Oh yeah, I got all of them.
Okay.
But this was just a chance to play them a different way.
Through their version.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say is a lot of people have talked some real trash about Stadia, and I think I can see it. I don't have any interest in buying games I've already bought. I don't want to buy the games again. But that being said, playing Destiny on it yesterday, or Destiny 2, man, it worked great. I was really impressed with just how well it worked.
What were you playing it on?
On this Mac Air.
Okay.
So, I don't think it would have run that game without that. So, sitting there, and now keep in mind, I haven't tried it on a big TV or anything, but on this 13.3-inch screen with an Xbox One controller, Bluetooth to the Mac, it works great.
Good.
I was genuinely impressed. It was one of those things where, if I traveled more, then this might be something I'd be really interested in. But I don't know. Technically, I felt like it worked just fine. I don't know that I'm a candidate for it. I think I'm more interested in what Microsoft is doing. As I understand it, with Microsoft's streaming thing, all the games that you already own digitally through, your Xbox, you'll be able to play those. I feel like that's this Google thing. Its biggest problem is they're like, hey, buy all your games again and you can stream them. I'm like, yeah,
It feels, for Stadia, it feels like it should just be free. And then they're making money by you buying games in it.
Right.
But, the service itself needs to be free already.
Well, it'll be free next year.
Eventually, but not the higher tier.
Not the higher tier.
The lower quality will be free.
Yeah. But again, for me, the only thing I'm interested in is, tomorrow for Giving Tuesday, I'm just going to live here.
He's moving in for the day.
But I'll get a break in the middle, and I thought, dude, I'll just bring my controller, play a little Destiny 2, and during my break time.
So
something I would not have been able to do until I got that friend code. So I think the tech seems solid. I don't know so much about the money end of it, but it was cool to get a chance to try it out.
So Stadia?
Google Stadia.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So Black Friday happened, and there was everywhere all at once. I don't know. It felt like the articles were written in advance, and at 12:01 p.m. on Black Friday,
they send them out to be posted.
Everywhere, every media outlet was like, crowds are down at Black Friday sales. So then I started, and I do love watching the media. It's so stupid. So there was that. And then on Saturday, there were all the blog responses to the crowds being down. And I read a lot of people saying, don't believe the hype. It was still a madhouse if you went shopping on Black Friday. Now, they do say that crowds were statistically down, even though a lot of people said, no, there were big crowds out there.
Well, they were just saying how the same deals that you could get while in the stores, you would just get online. So more people are still shifting towards why get out and go then? Just buy it online.
I just can't. I can't get out there and face people. You guys are all terrible. All of you.
Some people like to just go and do it. Like they have a really good time with it. And so if you do, then that's the fun part of it.
I think it just comes down to I've done that twice. And the last time I did it, when I went to a Best Buy and checkout took, I want to say it was almost an hour and a half. Like that was the point where I was like, the money I'm saving right now actually isn't worth it.
It's not in that case.
This is not worth it to wait in this line and save this money. So maybe if you were buying, I got a $5,000 TV for $30.
No, you can never find those deals. And if you do, it's like the one person with the one ticket gets it.
Yeah, it's true.
So did they say like it actually was down, or what was some of the results?
Well, you know what? I don't have are percentage numbers on how many people didn't go out. And so what I do have, though, is that they say Black Friday pulled in $7.4 billion in online sales, which is a record-breaking number.
Okay, so that's just online only.
So in general, sales overall for Black Friday were up this year, and they say online sales have hit an all-time high.
That'll just keep going higher and higher.
Of course it will.
I'm sure it will.
Well, Dude, like I always think to myself, like, man, we should go to the store. Let's get out there. Let's have some fun. And then when I get out there, I'm like, this is the worst.
It's terrible.
This is the worst.
Well, I don't think I told you on Friday, but on Thursday we went to go to Thanksgiving dinner, and then when we came back, I drove past like a little strip shopping center.
Yeah.
And there was a line of people waiting to get in one of the stores, and so I was like, oh, let's just go see what the line looks like. Like, I never go Thanksgiving shopping or even Black Friday shopping. And so when I went there, I was like, oh, it was pretty long. And everybody was going in at the same time. And I just had to laugh because some of those people were probably there for quite some time. And then in rolls everybody else who just comes right when the doors open. Someone drops them off. And then they
just all squeeze in.
All squeezing in at the same time. And I thought all these poor people must have been waiting hours and hours. And here's everybody else. And you're all actually getting in the store at the same time.
That was... I know they've taken steps to stop it, but that was my last Black Friday experience at a Best Buy was. I showed up, I don't know, probably about 45 minutes early and was at honestly a decent point in the line, but tons of people just rushed to the door. Mm-hmm. And so it didn't matter. I don't know, whatever.
Everybody all went in the door at the same time.
And again, what am I there for? A movie.
Yeah, you just don't bother.
I'm not there for anything that's like good enough to put in the effort.
Some people though love it and they enjoy it.
Hey man, a lot of stores opened Thanksgiving Day, so they were open at like 5:00 on Thanksgiving. I drove past a Walmart Thanksgiving afternoon, and I don't know that they closed at all. So you know what? Keep shopping, everybody. It's the key to happiness. That's how you get happy. Is you
but
just
you're
buy.
Also happy when they all come in and then all the boxes are at the door.
Buy.
Not when the bill comes in. That's when it's sad.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on Radio U.
We like to get those Starbucks cups, right? Nikki waited in line for 3 hours to get a disposable mug, and she poured the coffee out.
Listen, I waited like maybe 9 cars. That was it. That's like 5,
That's
10
9
minutes.
cars you'll never get back.
Yeah, right. But I am a sucker for a tumbler or some sort of branded mug or a reusable water cup. I got a lot, and I like to get them.
Mm-hmm. So in Glenpool, Oklahoma, there was a police officer who got some coffee for his fellow police officers.
Oh, these are the ones that were working Thanksgiving Day.
They were working Thanksgiving Day, and they received a very special cup.
This isn't right.
It's not available everywhere.
It's not right.
The cups that he purchased said pig on them.
And that's not a branded Starbucks thing. The barista just wrote it on there, like for the name.
Mm-hmm. Because you're a police officer.
They were a cop. That's nasty.
Where does pig and cop, where's that come from?
I don't don't
Is that
know.
like
I
some
only know,
Animal
like,
Farm reference or something? I don't know.
I only know from when everybody says it's for a cop. Like, that's it. And I don't even know anything else.
Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Isn't that, sorry, a liter of cola or a burger? It's for a cop.
But I think it comes from something else, too. Like,
It
even
probably
older.
does.
But we don't do that. We're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be better than that.
Well, that barista's fired now.
Good.
Well, okay, here's my thought. You're the barista, right? In the moment, you're working Thanksgiving Day, which you probably don't want to. I get that. Apparently, you have an issue with cops. Whatever, some people do. But what do you think is going to happen next?
You don't think they'll notice?
You don't think the police officers are going to care? And remember this. Police officers' job is to make sure that people follow the rules. So the last thing you want to do is break the rules in front of someone whose entire existence is based around rule keeping. You're like, that's not why I became a cop. I want to protect people. Okay, fine. But at some point in your police officer career, you've been on the side of the road with a radar gun. I don't know if anybody gets out of that. Maybe they do. But you know what I mean? Like, that's their job. So a police officer sees that and it's like, I'll just call the manager. Or it's actually worse than that. They tweeted it. Like, took a picture of it, put it on Instagram, and that person's fired. Now, supposedly, this is the part I love. Here we are a couple days later. Supposedly, the officer that took that picture, his estranged daughter, who has not been confirmed as being his daughter, says it's fine. He is a pig.
Oh, come on. Don't jump in on that.
Seems like we've wandered into something, right?
No, we have. That's now a family problem, or just push that to the side.
Just going to back out of that.
Yeah, don't be nasty, guys.
So you guys don't get that. Now, as a police officer, I can understand the insult. But you know what? If I went to Starbucks and my mug said like ugly, like I saw a guy who was like his thing from Chick-fil-A said ugly sweater. Oh, yeah. Or whatever.
I guess it's how they're supposed to recognize you.
And I'd just be like, yeah.
I think we should be looking more at our receipts. I just never notice. Like, what are people saying?
Loudmouth.
Yeah, how about we try like hero, well,
Nikki,
kind sir.
I'm not visibly recognizable as either of those.
I'm talking about the police officer.
Oh, you could just put police.
Yeah, you could do that.
You just put that on there.
But maybe we could put nice words on our cups.
Like ambulance.
Stop it. What are you being mean today? I don't like saying that word. You keep bringing it up.
That's twice.
Twice, yes.
And Nikki, I stood by you and supported you while you pronounced it correctly 5 minutes ago.
Oh, this has nothing to do with words. What they're saying.
All of a sudden, why am I bringing it up again? I'm a mean person.
You want me to get you a cup? Can I get you a cup? I'll write something on it.
You go right ahead. And then you know what? I'll have your job.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
All right, Nikki.
What did I watch over the weekend?
What did you watch on the streaming services? I mean, you got 3 years of Disney Plus.
I do, and I'm surprised I haven't watched it more.
See, I've watched a ton of it.
Well, there's still stuff, there's stuff there, but then I really want to clean out Netflix, and then I just add stuff, and it's just silly. I watched all of Sugar Rush Christmas. I did watch that.
Okay. Was that the Christmas baking show?
Yes, I really like it. I like it.
I see that.
Just not a lot of episodes. Sometimes I'm disappointed with Christmas ones. They're like, here, throw out a few, and not as many as normal.
Okay.
So I watched that. What else did I watch that was Christmassy? I watched the Netflix Christmas movie where the night goes forward in time.
Yeah.
Man, it's bad. All that stuff is bad.
Yeah, but you liked it,
No, I didn't at all. It was really bad. In fact, I skipped through most of it.
Okay.
But I'm fine with that.
But isn't that what,
when I go to Hallmark, I expect the cheesy Christmas bad. With Netflix, I don't know why, but I feel like there should just be 1 or 2 steps up.
That's what Netflix is competing with, though. Like, they are literally trying to keep you from going over to Hallmark and watch their bad Christmas movie.
I don't know. It's just I'm not used to that bad. The last few have been disappointing.
Okay.
So I watched that and a few other random things here and there. But that was mostly it.
Spill the beans. What else?
No, that was mostly it. I wouldn't even know the names of it.
Okay. All right. So everyone over the weekend was buzzing about The Irishman on Netflix.
Did you watch that?
No, I didn't.
Good.
And I'm disappointed in myself.
Why? You don't need to watch it.
Instead, on Disney Plus, I watched Noelle.
Oh, their Christmas movie?
I did.
Watch that one instead.
Well, you get family together.
It's Christmas. You got to pick something.
You're looking for
everybody.
something. And so, we ended up watching Noelle.
How was it? On a scale of like Lifetime, Hallmark, Netflix, Disney Plus.
Okay, here's where I found it. I found it to be probably a step up from Hallmark movies, just because the plot is a little different. And I mean a little, because this is about Santa's daughter, who is
There's a
really,
ton of those.
She's so upset that she doesn't get to be Santa. Her brother is automatically selected as Santa because he's a boy. And she doesn't like that.
Oh, I didn't know that was what this movie was about.
And so it has
But he doesn't want to?
He doesn't want to be. He wants to teach yoga in Phoenix. That's the part. Like, it goes to some weird places, I'll tell you. But all of that being said, Anna Kendrick is great.
Yeah.
I like her in general. So her in this role, good.
Kind of worked.
Yeah, the people I was watching with thought that the little baby reindeer was so cute. Oh, my gosh. I mean, literally every time he was on screen, like there was just screaming from all parts of the family. Oh, yeah. Like,
well, it's on my list for there, but we haven't gotten to it.
I think you would like it.
Probably enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so. To me, okay. I felt like it was a step above a Hallmark movie and one step down from the Christmas Chronicles, which was on Netflix last year. Because they were two Christmas-like movies that obviously they didn't have quite enough money to get into a theater, but they definitely had more money than your average made-for-TV Christmas movie.
Sure. Well, Mike in Pennsylvania said The Mandalorian. We're just talking Christmas stuff, like if you were watching any of the Christmas shows.
I have to admit, I did not see The Mandalorian this weekend.
This episode, you've watched the others.
There's a new episode I haven't seen yet. Everyone's raving about it. I don't know what happened.
How long does that last?
They're like, okay, they have ranged from like 28 to 40 minutes.
No, I mean like how many episodes is that supposed to go on for?
I think it's 8.
8? Oh, you guys are getting close.
Oh, yeah. No, it's wrapping up.
It's not going to be forever.
And I actually, something I'm legit wondering is like when the Mandalorian goes away, do I need Disney Plus anymore?
We'll have to see what else they do. I mean, you watched Noelle. You watched that. You shouldn't talk yet.
Come on. And that's part of the problem is like all of the boy stuff that they have on Disney Plus, and yes, I just went there. I have all the Marvel stuff,
and
I have all the Star Wars stuff, and I had so there's an element of, I mean, I already got Tron and Tron Legacy on Blu-ray. I mean,
you're the exception.
If you can't knock those up to 4K HDR, do I need your service?
You were already Disney Plus to begin with.
Man.
Just at home.
I'm a bad person.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
So how did Thanksgiving go for everybody? You have some family moments? Maybe your family got opportunities to disappoint you again this year?
Or they were telling you about how you've been disappointing them.
And it was just a lot of fun all around. And you know what? I saw some people get disappointed with family this weekend. And it wasn't just one person. I saw
across the board.
I saw a lot of people. And, when people disappoint us, whether it's that they withhold love that we would like to have from them, and that's disappointing, or whether they do so, whatever it is. Man, I know that hurts. Like, I know it does. I know it's painful, and I know it's unfair. And I want you to know that today on Monday, if you're still reeling from some of what happened this weekend, that God wants to be there with you. God loves you. He accepts you. He's not going to withhold from you. He's going to show up. He's going to be there. God loves you. And, God helps us love people who, quite frankly, are just unlovable sometimes, right? But God can help you if you will let him, if you'll let him in. So I don't know what you need this morning, but I want you to know that God wants to be there for you and help you, whether you just need to be loved or you need help forgiving some people from the weekend. I don't know. If you don't have a relationship with God, man, why miss out on this? Finally, a relationship that you don't have to be scared to get into. Just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to forgive me. I want you to help me forgive others. God, I need some help on the inside. Would you help me today? And man, you know what? God will do that. And if you need help on the outside, look, I'm talking about your emotions and you're like, man, I need to pay for my car. Whatever. You can talk to God about that too. Like across the board, he wants to be involved.
You might need to be storing it up to get ready for Christmas too. Like when that comes up, you got to be prepared.
You can get ready now.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Well, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, Nikki.
What I like is someone came to the door and they had a lot of packages. Like you could tell it's a delivery person, but like the ones hired out.
Yeah. He was an Amazon branded guy.
Yeah, so I was like, you don't want to go to the door usually when we're working, so we thought someone else will get it, but you went and got it. But then what I like is they were all for you.
Yeah. They were?
It's all gifts for everybody.
Okay, yeah. These are I had everything I ordered this weekend, almost everything I ordered this weekend. All of it there?
Are your headphones there?
No.
Still not
What I was going to say is I had it all delivered here because porch piracy is a thing.
It is. And then if not, if people find out, Opie's gifts are at his door.
Well, I actually thought, I was like, you know what? A lot of people
just ship to work.
Yeah. And so I just decided to ship almost everything here. The only thing I didn't ship here is, here we go. I wasn't going to tell this, but I bought a TV on Black Friday. Yeah. The TV that I bought at Costco, the HDMI 2 port does not work. So I got to take it back. And on Black Friday, it was $250 cheaper than what I paid for it.
So you went ahead and just had that one shipped to you?
Yep. So that means Friday.
Got to return the other one.
Friday, I have to be home by noon because I got a delivery window. And so I'll be sitting there at noon just on my porch, just looking and waiting.
Just waiting out the window.
Where is it?
Oh, it'll be fun.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
So no one make a meeting for Friday at that time.
I'm not available.
He's got delivery.
I'm not available. So it's an important delivery.
It is. Don't
obviously.
Tell people what it is.
And since I just did.
Well, now it's work.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I say it on the show. All of a sudden, it's work. And you know what? It's fine. You know what? What do you guys say? We'll do a live stream of me sitting on the porch.
That's a good call.
We'll just hang out.
You could while you're waiting.
We're just waiting for it to get here.
Because remember the one time you were waiting for someone to deliver something and you were looking out the window and you saw them drive by, not stop because it was the post office.
Yep.
And they didn't stop. They didn't go to deliver it even though they said they did.
I got a notice that my package had been delivered, but I had just watched the post office guy just drive right past my house.
He didn't even want to deliver it to you.
Yeah.
As your TV just goes, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that'd be fun. Something to look forward to at the end of the week.
Yes. Right. Exciting.
And look at all the packages you got.
I know. None of these are for me. These are all gifts for other people, which is... I think that's what you're supposed to do when you go Christmas shopping.
Oh, yeah. And it's exciting when you see them all come in because, people are going to like to get them.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to ruin Christmas, upstairs under my desk.
Go on up there and look. You might find your gift there.
Go for it.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
What about this men's sexy Santa union suit?